All started in a little apartment in a sunny little town called Los Angeles.
We were never making gay porn. I make adult films. I make art films.
Pushing away from the heteronormative structure that was present within the industry.
It was like punk rock, you know?
How did you gain connections?
Small haunts, such as Buffalo Wild Wings.
I hear about this man, Cephalus, how you worked with him very early on.
He just had this spark.
He knew how to communicate emotion, raw emotion.
So, Cephalus, what did he mean to that first production?
Damn near everything. It's hard for me to even think about it now.
I'm sorry, bro.
So what do you do for Jack and Bruce?
I'm an editor.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's great. Great pay. I mean, it's great. It's great.
How long have you
It's
been
great.
working with them?
Oh, damn. It's taking me back memory lane now. I've been working with them, man. I first met them when I was living in down in Jacksonville. I was shooting some
Jacksonville, Florida?
where else, dude? Russia? I was shooting these shitty kind of like B-movie kind of kink films. Not really doing it for me. But these guys, they come up to me with this genius film idea, and they come to me with the worst pay, and they convince me to start working for them just out of the strength of their artistic vision alone, man. That was their first big break with Horn Dog Lewis. That was really, honestly, probably like the last cult film to ever be made. I would say, I think. And yeah, fucking special. That stuff's special.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool shot.
It's very immersive.
Yeah. And I like that they didn't just rush into it, because a lot of scenes they rush, and it's so grounded into what it is. It's taking its time to build up that tension, build up that character straight away.
Slow, passionate burn. The clothes fall off and the embers grow larger. Let's see what this one has to offer.
Close up.
Oh wow.
I mean, I don't know. Sorry. It's just commercialist slop at this point.
My opinion on the whole ordeal is I feel like the message being sent is not one of a political variety, but rather one of an artistic stomping of the human body, of attaching something to yourself that ruminates in a way that is perceived
It's no matter where
as political.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Who watches?
This is garbage! Oh my fuck!
Oh! This is uninspired. It deludes in upon it.
Go to hell, yuppies!
I mean, my honest opinion, if I had to give an opinion to the camera right now, it's bullshit. It deludes in upon itself. Meaningless slop.
You two spent months in a cabin together, just alone. And you guys are gay porn directors.
Adult homosexual films.
Are you gay?
No.
Us? Gay?
What with him? Never. See, in male-female sex flicks, everything's been a bit overdone. It's just exhausted. There's too many themes of birth and belonging.
Not to mention penetration as well.
That's right.
The female body is uninspired and it's uninspiring.
There's no highlighting of the male physique, the male form.
When we first started out in the homosexual adult industry, it was a rough, easy come, easy go sort of
It's kind of gritty.
Gritty, raw. And you remember that beach blonde buck? Young kid.
Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley was his name. It was a little interesting because
It was a little interesting.
you'd think Ash would be a name for a girl. But
They called him Big Ash.
I believe we were on a trip to Vermont one summer. Winter was.
Winter was, yes.
Yeah,
It
because
felt like
summer we
summer.
met Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Then that all went south. The allegations came out.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Ashley?
Ashley was a real buxom prince from Southern California. This is a 20-year-old dude, Ashley. But once that fell through, we had to start fresh, and we go scouting for actors day in and day out.
There were moaners, groaners, and whimperers. Now, Jamie was 2, not 3. We thought we struck a gold mine when we found Jamie. He was a moaner and a whimperer, not a groaner though. Now, we call that a double threat in the industry. When we went to Vermont, we met a triple threat.
We're looking something to challenge the form, to really piss some people off, and we found it in male-on-male intercourse. We found it in Cephalus.
I'm a big fan of like there's this trademark kind of thing that we like to say in the biz. It's we got the moaners, the groaners, and the whimpers, right? And I would like to think that my trademark is really like heightening that stuff. You know what I mean? Like making that stuff like shine.
You tell a story or I?
Oh yeah, his childhood?
About his childhood.
Yeah, his childhood. Well, Cephalus, his mother grew up on a farm, and they didn't have any German shepherds out on the farm, so she had to take up herding the sheep. So she developed a really poignant bark. Raising Cephalus, she disciplined him with that bark, and he developed a case of tinnitus, and so he just kind of hears barks in his ear all the time. And I feel like that's really what led to his versatility in production.
Hey, come on over, man. So this is kind of like my workshop area, where I get all sort of magic happens, kind of like. Right now we're working on a little mini series. You know how like real popular culture nowadays, they like to push the short form media because people's attention spans are like that. New topic. It's like this.
Yep.
It's like this. It's like this.
Gotcha.
New topic. New topic.
Yeah,
new topic.
yeah.
So we're working on like a new mini series now. Kind of gives you more time to like develop characters. Some people
Right.
say, but I like mostly it's just more of the action.
I make it all happen. They can go play director. With their dildos and their cameras and trying to find the perfect scrotum for their Dutch angle. I don't even know what that is. When it comes down to it, I make the film. They give me all this shit, and I'm the one that got to make it into a fucking film, And I think, at least, I make the movies. Yeah. Thank you. I make the movies. I don't think I get enough recognition for how much I make the movies, but
So right now I'm listening for parts that I kind of want to replace. Like here at around 156 is kind of a weird groan thing that I'm really not the biggest fan of if you listen closely. Yeah. Who wants to hear that? So I'm tracing for other sounds that I like more. So I kind of like this groan generally more. Kind of that moan thing. So I like this more from 159. So I'm going to replace that. Seamless. I mean, it's seamless. Listen to this. See, you won't even be able to tell. Now we're making movies. Huh? Tell me more about Cephalus.
He kind of pioneered cerebral adult films that not only made you feel, but also made you think,
Sort of led us into a new age of filming and what I would describe as a new wave of perceiving yourself in the world around you.
His footprints left craters in our artistic journey. And
his feet were so big that whenever they found them in the woods of his creative imagination, they thought it was a new species.
In my research, I read that Cephalus didn't include either of you in any part of his autobiography. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, I can. I'll take this. Which is sort of heartbreaking, It's like we didn't leave him, he left us. And we thought maybe after all these years it would at least have meant something, you know, at least we would have played a little part in his story, you know, at least with no explanation, and you never talk about us again.
Yeah.
What kind of person is that?
You know, he can do what he wants, he's his own person, but, you know, we know the real history. We know that we were there with him in the gutter, grinding away day in and day out to make something truly special. Because, you know, no one can do it alone. Not even him.
But I heard the stories, though.
You heard the stories.
Oh, I heard the stories, though. That guy sounded like something else, man.
Yeah.
Man.
I actually heard he had you edit one of his own films that Cephalus did, a solo project. Can you talk about that even? It's kind of a controversial...
Man, that stuff was crazy. Look, they had the perfect angle. He's going to go right down on this guy, right? Cephalus is about to go right down on this guy. Out of nowhere. You wouldn't guess what he fucking does. Guy picks up a dildo and he shoves it up his own ass. I mean, who else would do that? I was speechless. I was really like, was blown away. You know, it was like, I don't know. It was just like crazy. It was like, who would have expected that? Like, I wouldn't have, I'm watching the film, I wouldn't have expected the guy to shove a dildo up his own ass. Like, who would? You know? That's the pure beauty of it. I don't know about these big fancy words, but...
Ow. 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 Okay. Ow. Ow.
Okay, good. Can we cut?
Holy shit, Cephalus. Up your own ass? Now I've seen everything.